Hi everyone, welcome to the Movie Session Show. My name is Fariba, and tonight we're about to watch the second episode of House of Dragon Season 2. And yeah, I think going forward, we know that things are going to really escalate, especially after the final moments of last week's episode with the blood and cheese moments. Something that we all were anticipating, and we finally got to see that moment actually finally happen. As I said, I thought it was I didn't expect it to happen so soon, but it happened, and now things are going to escalate from here. We know for a fact that again, from what I recall from the trailers, it seems as though that, both sides are going to have to deal with this issue. We're going to see the consequences of it. For one thing, King Aegon would want revenge, of course, but then we also have Rhaenyra and Daemon, and the fact that there's probably going to be a power struggle between them, especially because, we don't expect that Rhaenyra is going to be happy about this news. So, lots of conflicts are going to be happening going forward into these new episodes. Things are going to escalate. Things are going to get even more intense. That's all I'm going to be expecting from here on out. I mean, again, the war has finally began, and now it's the actual fire to the actual war is only starting to strengthen. Fire, yeah. Can't believe I just said that, but yeah. I cannot wait to see what it means going forward. Again, we're going to see how both sides are going to respond to it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right down into the second episode of House of Dragon Season 2. Oh my god. I'll
kill them! I'll kill them all! Traitors and villains! They dare strike at me!
Grace.
I am the king!
Yes.
Fire from the sky! This is war! I declare war! I declare war!
Right, they took his coins.
Will be found. We mustn't be shaken by this.
Oh, they're in the room too.
This act. And they will pay for this.
You started this. You started this.
No, he must be blamed. The gods punish us. They punish me.
We actually agree on something.
Some good may yet come of this.
And where were the members of this council while the murderer threatened their king?
Were you also threatened?
Get to the Iron Throne!
And where were you? The Lord Commander of my King's Guard.
I was abed, your grace, having ordered the night's watch.
Abed.
Abed! Instead of safeguarding the sanctity of my family.
This is not the time.
Oh, Kristen, you're in such deep shit.
This soon enough.
Who did this? What smug cunt of Dragonstone? There she sits across the bay on her rock, laughing at me. She's fucking laughing at me!
Detained someone. The man we apprehended is known to us. He's a gold cloak, noted for his brutal nature. We caught him, fleeing the gate of the gods, with the child's head in a sack.
More than one enemy, your grace. We would do well to ascertain if this is your sister's hand, or if there is a serpent nestled closer to our bosoms.
I suppose you're right, Ironrod.
Okay.
One of you in this room.
Oh, there's the paranoia.
It doesn't matter.
You mean to blame Rhaenyra? Tell the realm she has done this.
In our own beds. I will not be seen as weak.
You're already seen as weak, Aegon.
Yeah, where were the guards? Oh, then, well, we know what happened.
Dragon escaping the pit, the people see an omen.
They whisper in the streets. They say perhaps Rhaenyra should be queen.
And so
I
you
mean,
would name her monster.
she
slayer
should
of
be.
infants.
She is.
I would do more than that. Let them look upon the works of this pretender to the throne.
I fucking hate Otto so much.
Or will they rather not renounce her? Jaehaerys will do more for us now than 1,000 knights in battle. You will have your
Demented,
war, Your Grace,
but
if
he's
you
right.
wait a short time,
The only person who I sympathize is Helaena. She does not deserve any of this.
There's to be a funeral for Jaehaerys. Come closer. I don't know them. Sometimes we have to pretend. Helaena, what you saw last night when you came to my room.
This is for my boy.
That's all she cares. Oh my god. No, that's not even the time to be talking about that right now.
I was hired by Daemon Targaryen. He paid us half now. Half when the job is done.
Who is us?
Of Rhaenyra Targaryen. Pretender to the throne.
She's sensing something.
Behold the work of Rhaenyra the Cruel.
Well, he is a dead man.
Session.
And they are accusing me of having a hand in this.
It appears so. There have been messages sent to that effect throughout the realm.
At a time when we most need loyalty to our cause.
Oh my god, look at
But it's a
Daemon.
lie. Having lost my own son. On Helaena, of all people. An innocent.
And that's why she should be the true queen.
The death of Prince Lucerys was a shock.
Oh,
Another so
Bernie's
aggrieved
notes.
might. Now,
Did you send assassins to murder children in their beds?
I sent the Queen's vengeance for her son.
What did you tell this If Aemond was not to be found, what were your instructions then?
They did not concern in any way that of a little child.
You said that it was your aim to spill Hightower blood. If not Aemond, then anyone would do.
No.
You have wounded me, weakened my claim to the throne, my ability to raise an army, my standing among my own council.
I said no.
I don't believe you. I cannot trust you, Daemon. I've never trusted you wholly. But now I have seen that your heart belongs only to you. And when I was a child, I took this as a challenge, but I'm older now. I have challenges enough.
I have served you faithfully.
Have you? Or have you used me as a tool with which to grasp at your stolen inheritance?
Throne to the traitorous lies of
My throne, Daemon! Mine! I think you used my words as an excuse to take your own revenge. To indulge the darkness you keep sheathed within you like a blade.
You think me some kind of monster?
Do you accept me as your queen and ruler? Or do you cling even now to what you think you lost?
What I think I lost.
You did not lose it, you gave it away.
Your legacy, unlike mine, would never outshine his own.
He was not afraid of you, Daemon! He could not trust you any more than I can trust you.
He was a fool. And I see you will suffer the same fate.
You struck down a child.
It was a mistake.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Mm.
One who seeks absolution.
There is none for what I've done.
Our fidelity.
He's the one
Kingsguard
to
of
say
sacred
that.
Trust. Will you so easily sully our ancient honor?
Where were you when Jaehaerys was murdered?
With King Aegon.
Projecting
You were
much,
not in the
Kristan?
private quarters where you might have prevented the crime. His Grace wished to entertain his companions in the throne room. But if you had thought to go upstairs, where were you? Well, Commander.
There you go. That's the big
Why has
question.
Rhaenyra the Queen been granted no small protector? Surely once she ascended, she should have... Oh, brother!
Is a thief and a traitor to the crown.
I love how they just decided they were like, nope, nope. We're out of here.
You well know how it pays me. On your watch.
You are mad, sir. Mad! You cannot think that I did. This
Projecting.
has no relevance!
Projection. Projection.
You have brought disgrace upon our rank.
Gaslighting. Projection. Mm.
And now you must restore it. How am I to do that? You will go to Dragonstone and strike down Rhaenyra in her own halls. The way she sought to do with Aemond. We will pay the princess back in her own bloody coin. Alone.
What?
Does your courage fail you, Sir Eric? It's not a matter of courage. The castle is defended against all enemies, now especially. Down the pretender and you will end a war before it begins.
I hate Kristan even more.
If they see
Sir Harwin Strong?
He was gentle and fierce. They called him Breakbones.
Interesting name on.
Damon's son. The boy is grown into a man.
No, not here.
Oh my god.
I do regret that business with Luke.
Wow.
They used to tease
This is
me
giving me like Homelander vibes.
because I was different.
But he is not the king.
Neither am I, but I manage.
I too have felt the crown pass over me. It is a hard thing to accept. And now Viserys is dead and all claims are in doubt. If he can take Harrenhal, all may well be forgiven. In the meantime, I am here. And Meleys. We will not let the Queen falter.
She's a real one, man.
Daemon 2 names. That is the extent of it, and I did not wish to do that much. He said it was the price of my freedom. He does do that, doesn't he?
He said he would marry you. He said you carried his child.
Not everyone found the jest funny.
Oh,
It
I
seems
forgot
he's
about
done it
that.
again, made a promise and then slipped away.
At worst, you betray me in some foul way.
I have no interest in betraying you, Your Grace.
So you say.
And I listened. I collected confidences. I made myself valuable to powerful men. Bit by bit, I earned my living. A house, a household, a home. Then they set it all aflame.
Mm-hmm.
Who did?
The high towers, I can only assume. I see that was the wish of a child. Damon, Otto Hightower, makes no difference. They will never accept me. I might as well have remained a whore.
She's right.
Oh no. My son.
Who are they?
Rat catchers. In the king's employ.
What they do?
Doggy.
The rat catchers!
Oh, I had them hanged. The maggot who took my son confessed to an...
King is my grandson, and my grandson is a fool. He's worse than a fool. He's murdered innocent men.
And one guilty one.
And hanged them from the walls of the city for all to see.
Plot against the king, and I will pay it back 100
They are
times.
fathers and brothers and sons. And their wives and children gather now at our gates to weep and curse your name. Feckless. Self-indulgent.
At least I did something. I have not answered injury to the crown with, what, wailing?
And what
Oh.
has Sir Kristen Cole done?
You sent Sir Eric?
Hypocrite.
Alone.
He's pretending to be his own twin. Brilliant.
Gods help us all.
It's time the bitch queen paid a price.
Fuck you, Kristen. Fuck you.
And you, judiciousness is dignity.
Fuck dignity.
Oh, so he's starting
want
to have some
revenge.
regrets, huh?
My father is dead.
And we are the poorer for it. Was right about you.
He made me king.
Is that what you think?
Even he's starting to.
Remove your badge, Sir Otto.
Insolent pup. You think yourself clever, but without a strong hand.
Give it to Cole.
Great.
This is a joke, right?
In this hour, you have proven yourself. My new hand will be a steel fist.
You will regret this.
Oh, I agree.
Give it to
We
him.
both agree on something.
But I will keep the word of my house if you say that it was given. You may go.
Your Grace.
There's a Valarian ship in the harbour. Sir Eric Messaria will be leaving us. let her collect her things, then have someone take her down and secure her berth on the Corwin.
She is
Your Grace.
queen. She is queen. He arrived quickly.
I thought you were within.
Sorry, lack of vigilance. The enemy is about, good sir.
Man, Massaria, please react quickly. Oh. I can't tell who's who.
Believe me, I had no choice.
I don't understand.
Brother! Do not do.
Your Grace!
Sir Laurent!
We were born together. You parted us! But I still love you, brother.
But who's who?
Eric.
Forgive me.
No! No!
It is exiled from the council. Witness to the blundering of our plans, I'll return to Old Town. Have a son there who'll take more kindly to instruction. Daron may yet help us in weeks to come.
Daron?
Go rather.
But we will yet prevail and bring forth peace, I still believe. As long as you and I hold fast.
I have sinned.
I do not wish to hear of it.
I think he knows, so. Ha! Wow. Mm. Really? Oh my god. Oh, why? Was episode 2 of House of Dragon season 2 right there. And yeah, I mean, things have really escalated. Lots have happened. I have to say, like, I mean, watching this episode, it truly brought me a lot of great memories of the good old times of Game of Thrones. I mean, this is an episode that is absolutely just excellent in its own way, because especially because of the fact that usually when it comes to like follow-up episodes, like it could be a bump or it could be a dip, and it could actually be great, and this is a case where it does do a really good job of following up from last week's episode. And I mean, yeah, there were some kind of action, like, I mean, not definitely not in ways that, you know, are so full blown, but I think the dialogue here and seeing just how everyone is reacting to the event of Blood and Cheese is just, I mean, I have to say, like, for one thing, the performances in this episode are absolutely incredible. Especially, I have to say, I need to, like, so two people I would want to mention, of course, it's Emma Darcy as Rhaenyra. I mean, we got to see a bit more of Rhaenyra in this episode, like, because I mean, as we saw last episode, where she was so devastated that she didn't really get to, we didn't get to really see much of her and how she's commanding. She's a mother who is mourning, right? So that was what we saw last week, but this is truly an episode where we see the testament of who Rhaenyra is and what her leadership is really like. I mean, that is not to say that we didn't get to see much of this back in the end of the season 1 finale, but I think this is the first time that we really get to see who she really is as a leader, how she is as the queen. And I think that it's definitely a huge day and night seeing how she reacts to an event comparison to King Aegon, right? I mean, at least, because here's the thing, when you look at both of them, they both have dealt with their own losses. I mean, they're like, if you just put a table comparing like just their losses this far, I mean, Rhaenyra has lost her son. Now King Aegon has lost his son, and we see just, yeah, they had a similarities in how they lost someone truly dearly to them, but you can also see the contrast of how they react to the moment. So of course with Rhaenyra, I mean, she's a mother who had to take some time to really accept the fact that Luke was dead. And once she did, of course, yeah, she did say that she wanted Aemon Targaryen, okay, but she never said that he needed to be dead. She didn't even want to do anything in a sort where she wanted to exact full revenge. Whereas King Aegon, we see that he's full right wants to kill anybody out there who has committed this heinous act. And I mean, yeah, I mean, that is not to say that, you know, no person should be able to react like that. I mean, he is heartbroken. He lost his son. He lost the heir to the Iron Throne, and yeah, I mean, that's how he acted. But you can see the day and night of how they are. Like, Rhaenyra is someone, yeah, she lost someone truly, but she also knows her boundaries and things like this, right? I mean, especially when it comes to something like revenge or vengeance, she's a bit more sharp, a lot more intelligent about how to deal with them. She's definitely a bit more precise with her moves about it, because now she knows for a fact that moving forward, given this event, of course, she needs to be very cautious about what she wants to do moving forward, and she's aware of this. And not just that, but we see a lot of other things about Rhaenyra in this episode, right? So one thing, she knows she would never do something as brutal as killing or trying to get an equal playing field of killing someone, especially a child. We get that sense of that right here. Then the fact that she actually upholds Masaria's deal with Daemon, we say that right here. Like, I mean, she's not going to be someone who is going to break that promise. She fulfilled it. And there you have it. She's someone, yeah, given the fact that she is a mother who is mourning, she is definitely far more cool and collective. And that even it, and it's not even just a comparison with King Aegon, but it's also a comparison with Daemon. Like, we see this fight between them and how she is realizing why, you know, her father never chose Daemon as his heir, especially after her unborn brother, after her brother had died, like back in childbirth. We saw all the way back in season 1. like now she realizes why her father never really trusted him, and despite her own efforts to try and change him, I mean, she now accepts that she can't really do much of it, and now she's just gonna let him go. So, and I have to say that whole scene between Damon and Rhaenyra and how they're arguing, I gotta say the performances in that moment is absolutely incredible. Hands off, lots of claps and commands to Emma D'Arcy and Matt Smith in that moment. I mean, I just gotta say, like, I was just so invested in that fight. I was expecting it. It was going to happen, and it did. And I don't think they were not short in their performances here. They did an absolutely spectacular job with that. So, but yeah, we're seeing this contrast. We're seeing why Queen Rhaenyra was chosen by her father to be the heir to the Iron Throne, and we're starting to see why he was right in that. And not just him, right? It's not just him. We're even seeing this with Otto now. Even Otto's starting to get this realization why she was chosen, why she was picked over Aegon, why how he's even doubting the fact that, you know, despite what Alicent said about the fact that, oh, like Viserys said that Aegon should be the actual king, even he's doubting that claim, right? And just seeing all the horrible bad moves that Aegon keeps making. Like, I mean, I think this is finally a realization for Otto to know that, wow, he is such an imbecile, that he clearly has no idea how to be a bit more strategic, knowing that it's not just a matter of what he's doing. Because, I mean, yeah, I mean, if it was just us, I mean, like, if you're just a commoner, like, it's really tough because as a king or a queen, you do have to be very cautious about your move, because what you're doing is not just for yourself, but also this is how you're going to be showcasing yourself to civilians and the commoners, and you want to get the support of the commoners. And we see how this is with all the things that Aegon has done, like that's going to bite him in the ass, basically. So, and again, just seeing the fact that Otto is having this realization himself, it's just like, wow, okay, so even Otto himself realizes that he is a horrible, horrible king and who has no idea what he's doing. And yeah, and we're probably gonna see the consequences of that. So, yeah, again, lots of great performances here. Even I can't pronounce his name, Rhys Evon, the guy who plays Otto Hightower. He did a really good job. I mean, just his monologue in that scene with Aegon, I mean, it's absolutely, like, as much as I hate Otto so much, the actual performance is brilliant. I mean, we gotta realize that the actors are actors, they're not their characters. So let's not be hating the actors, they're just doing their jobs. But clearly, oh my god, that one moment I was like, yo, so we're all in agreement here that Rhaenyra is a far more competent ruler than Aegon, right? We're starting to kind of have an agreement here. So, but yeah, I mean, just seeing a bit more of the characters here, the consequences, the responses to it. Again, a really great follow-up to that first episode. Again, this was far more dialogue heavy, but I think this is what we really needed for a long time, because I feel like, again, watching this episode gave me a little bit more of that Game of Thrones feels like, wow, we're finally developing things, we're finally setting up and trying to build off this arc for some of the characters and the developments and so on and so forth. And I think the writing really works here. It's really tragic to see what happened with the twins. I mean, just even Eric having to, you know, do what he needed to do. I mean, it's just so tragic. I mean, this is just the beginning of the war. I mean, Aegon is already saying he's ready to go to war. So again, this is just the beginning of it. I mean, I know this is going to be quite a long one that's going to take on for, from what I've heard, maybe at least 4 seasons. But yeah, I think this is a great episode that we have right here that really showcases how everyone has reacted to the moment, and how, again, this whole contrast. I think I can't even say this more. The contrast between Rhaenyra and Aegon as rulers, as the monarchs of the kingdom. And we're seeing that here. So I think this is truly what this episode does a really great job of. I think it's really effective in showcasing that contrast. We do get to see a little bit of Aemond here as well. Although not quite a lot, but I think it's really interesting that we do get to see, because the fact that it matters that he's like, because he goes to a brothel from the looks of it, and the fact that he's reaching out to someone who is almost acting like a motherly type of figure, as if he's deprived of a mother figure, it's just like, okay, that's really interesting. But then also seeing at the end of the episode how she basically how Alicent in her case has ignored Aegon, right? I think it just shows how not great of a mother Alicent is too. So I think a lot of the fault is on Alicent. Oh, we're gonna talk about Alicent in a second, but just seeing Daemon and giving him his confession about everything that's happened so far, I mean, that's quite interesting right there. Alicent, man, that moment where she's like, yo, I've committed a sin, and how she's being punished for everything. I mean, it's just like, wow. We're all starting to understand the realities of things, right? And let's be honest, I mean, this would have never happened. None of this would ever happened if the Hightowers hadn't tried to usurp Rhaenyra, hadn't taken her title away, taken the whole kingdom away from her, because she was declared the rightful heir to the Iron Throne, and the Hightower was like, yeah, no, we're gonna play some other stuff. Even though the whole thing with Alicent and Viserys and this whole misunderstanding, it's still like it's really messed up. And just to see, and this is, I think, the first time we're really seeing Hightowers at a very, very vulnerable position. I think this is the first time where they're really making terrible mistakes. I think a lot of people will be happy about that, especially if you're not Team Green. Like, I'm Team Black, so it's like we're finally starting to see Team Green kind of lose their grip a little bit, lose their balance of things. And I mean, again, we'll see how things are gonna work out, especially now that Kriston is now the new hand. The fact that he was also projecting is like, pfft. But now that he's a new hand, and just everything that happened in that moment at Dragonstone, it's now just gonna be a matter of seeing what's going to happen moving forward, how everyone's gonna react, how everyone's gonna respond, how this war is going to proceed. It seems as though it's gonna start getting to more of the violent level from the looks of it. Again, I just saw a little bit of the preview, but again, I think this is a really great follow-up, really great episode, great performances from everyone. I mean, it's, oh my god, again, the stars are Emma and Rhys. I think they were the ones who I would say really truly were the top in this episode. Can't wait to see what else unfolds, but yeah. We're really getting down to House of Dragon right here, and I'm just so excited to see how else is going to unravel. But also, I'm just like, oh man, it's gonna be really intense. But yeah, that's all I just say about episode 2 right here. But what are your thoughts having seen this episode? Do you think this is a great follow-up to the premiere that we had last week? And if so, what are some things that really caught your attention? What do you think about this whole episode where we do kind of see this contrast between Rhaenyra and Aegon? Do you agree that this is what this episode really does in terms of its writing, that we do get to see this contrast between the two, considering how similar their losses have been, yet we see a contrast of this? Do you actually think at this moment, given what happened with Otto, like, does Otto think that he has actually truly realized his mistakes, or at least with Alicent, is that the case with her? And let me know if you have any other thoughts or concerns, or just about anything that you think it's worth mentioning that you want to talk about. Let me know your thoughts below, and make sure to like and subscribe.